Coach Miles and Coach Smith.
I figured if we didn't do a joint press conference, I'd never get him out of here. So.
I'm surprised you let me talk.
Yeah, this time.
11 years, I didn't say a whole lot.
This time. Well, I had a lot of answers. It was a very good game. I think South Dakota played the way I thought they would. I knew it'd be difficult to separate. Even at halftime when we were up 14, to me it felt like it was a lot tighter than that.
It didn't to us, just so you know.
And
I'll stop interrupting.
The way you complained at the refs the whole time. I mean,
wow. Did you see him?
But yeah, they were all the one guy. But anyhow, but we knew it would come, and I was really proud of our guys to perform down the stretch. And I thought, again, South Dakota competed really hard, and really I thought outcompeted us the second half for that stretch of time. And when you get punched in the mouth, you can't look at that and say, oh, gee, what's going on? Do I have any teeth left? You just got to swallow them, spit the blood out, and keep battling.
I think I learned from somebody really intelligent and generally well thought out, inside joke, that you got.
What I said on his first letter of recommendation, that he's generally well thought out, which he's never proved me wrong.
You got to like the taste of your own blood.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
You do. Carlton Hurst does.
He does. That guy's a warrior.
Yep.
Well, first of all, thanks for letting me speak with you. If we'd have lost, I know it wouldn't have been like this, but
no, you did lose.
You know what?
You did lose.
I got to give it. Well, yeah, I'm sorry if you would have lost.
Yes, exactly. Okay, let's just get this square right here. You didn't win.
First of all, I got to thank University of Nebraska and certainly Coach Miles for letting us play this game. It means so much to our program. We have 4 guys on our roster from Nebraska. He's a man of his word. I know when initially 2 years ago when we were looking at the position at the University of South Dakota, that's one thing he brought up. And I think he said we were going to play there.
Nope.
But he doesn't remember that part. No. Our administration remembers that. But no, seriously, it's a tough, it's all win for us and not much to gain for Coach Miles in Nebraska. And once he says something, he's going to stick to his word. And it means so much for our team and our program. And tonight we got better. We looked like Edward Scissorhands out there for the first 8 minutes or so.
Yeah.
A lot of turnovers, just driving in there and just like playing volleyball, kind of throwing it up there and, seeing what would happen. But it's different for us. We don't play, their guys are way bigger, way stronger, the thickness of them. When you go in there, we're just bouncing off them like a pinball. And we had to adjust. And once we finally kind of settled in, I really liked what we saw out of our team. I thought we had great resolve. They're very, very good. 24th toughest schedule in the country. I'm sure that'll be about top 10 in the next week or so. Yeah. But proud of how we played when we got down 22 in a hostile environment with such a young team. And what is it called on Ken Palm? They have a new thing with returning years of experience.
Yeah.
So
it's just experience.
Just experience. We're number 350 out of 351. So
and what are we?
I don't even know. I mean,
we're 289 or 290.
Are you really?
Yep.
So was really proud of the way we came back and showed a lot of resolve. I'm not sure. I wish maybe we would have, but that's the hardest part in preparation. We've had. This was game 10. So 10 games, 9 practices, 3 days off in the last 22 days with 10 newly eligible players in our program. So it's hard to fine tune and tighten up,
4 redshirted?
Yeah, 3 redshirted. Okay. Yep, newly eligible, 7 brand new guys. You're always correcting me. I appreciate that.
Just trying to be accurate.
It's my big brother here. Yep. And so I like to embellish a little bit. Yeah. I'm not sure who I take after. But so we'll finally now be able to settle in and just get better. But tonight made us better, playing against a very good team on the road where, if we didn't figure things out in a hurry, it would have been 50 really, really quickly. So we don't play a lot of zone, but we had to just get them off attack. It's so hard to how good is Webster? Webster is playing at such a high level. How many big shots did he hit tonight? And he's just playing with so much swagger right now, and he's leading them, and you could see that watching film. It was easy to see, and then Watson is so electric. Just go back and watch the UCLA game, and nobody could stay in front of that guy. And so it's hard to emulate that pace, so we had to do something to get him slowed down.
First half, you guys
Shot 50%, 6 threes, assists on 14, 16 made shots. What changed in the second half?
Well, I think their press zone combination, come out, just go man a little bit here and there. It get your guys on their heels, and that just, when we had that stretch of I don't know how many minutes where we didn't get a bucket, right? Yeah, and at the same time, I didn't think we were doing our job. We just kind of, when you lose your aggressiveness, on zone attack, it really feeds down to how you play defense. And, I thought South Dakota was downhill on us for a long time. And, of course, they cut the lead from whatever to 2, and then we made some big shots down the stretch. But, we have to firm up our zone attack. I have to do a better job of that. I mean, I got this guy over here auditioning for my job, and they're not going to can me yet, buddy. But
I hope they don't. Trust
yeah,
me, brother.
and
you guys are going to get it done.
But we need to firm that up. I have to do a better job. I thought we did a better job late when we went more of a power game with 2 low guys. Gave us a chance for a couple offensive rebounds. And then we made a couple of threes. So we're going to have to make threes. We're going to have to get guys ready to make threes. And that's part of the deal. And I think we will. But I this game is kind of what I expected. I thought when we talked on Friday that this is what we talked about, and it's the way it played out. Yeah, we just decided to go small, and you see why when Flack hit those shots late in the game, I was just afraid that Craig over here was going to, do some things. And quite frankly, he had played pretty good for some time early and then kind of faded out a little bit as the half went on. I just didn't like the matchup because Flack can make threes in the Manning can drive really well, and then they're good on the boards. You get a kid like Carlton Hurst, who Craig and I recruited back at CSU, and he's a warrior. I mean, that kid got 10 rebounds tonight, and we actually thought when we recruited him, I don't know if you remember this, but I do, but he was like more of a 3-4 type of guy. And in the Mountain West, you kind of get away mid-sized. Yep. And so it didn't surprise me at all that he made a real impact on the game. So it really just changed how we had to play. And then with a mobile 5 like that, when he quit playing Jack 31, I couldn't really get Jordy in the game.
Craig, how has Tristan Simpson come along so far early in his career, and what's his role on this team?
We love Tristan. Tristan's a very endearing point guard. He's got a Magic Johnson type of smile, very personable, plays super hard. He's averaging over 17 minutes a game. We're playing 3 true freshmen, and tonight was the least minutes any of them have played. And but I love all 3 of those guys. And Tristan is just a phenomenal person. He just plays with great pace, really knows how to play. Rarely does he make the wrong decision. Going into tonight's game, he had 1 turnover tonight, but on the year as a point guard, playing 17 minutes a game as a true freshman, he's had 6 turnovers is all. And our freshmen don't turn it over. Tyler Peterson has 7 turnovers in 10 games.
It's because he shoots it right when he touches it.
Tristan, he had 1 dumb one tonight, tried to throw it to Austin Sparks, and he was kind of friggin'. So he has 8 now. Simpson has 7, and then Brandon Armstrong doesn't have any. And those 3 guys know how to play. They have very good feel. But, the game is going a million miles an hour right now for those guys. So tonight once we started kind of coming back, it was hard to take any of those guys out. We had a good group going. We were really getting downhill. We missed some chip shots, I think, at the rim, especially in transition that, boy, we'd like to have back. But I like this team. I like where we're going. We got a long, long way to go. But Tristan's going to be a huge part of this program, and we're fired up to have him for 4 years. I told him yesterday when we came in we came in and just shot, last night at 7 o'clock or whatever. And I really like his team. They have great resolve. They're very tough-minded. It's hard to get anything on them. They play with physicality. They don't screw up on the defensive end. Their positioning is very, very good. It's hard to drive. I always think you got to score at all 3 levels. You want to be able to shoot the 3, have a pull-up game, and score inside. And I think they do a great job defending all of those areas. You're sitting there like, okay, how can we attack them? And we had some thoughts that we could. We felt like we could.
Don't tell anybody those.
Well, and then offensively, like McVay tonight, I mean, he had some big shots in the second half. Obviously, got a groove going. Exactly what he needed early on. Hit at 3 threes, I think, in the first half. Is that right? And so he started feeling it. Made a couple big threes in the second half when we were in the midst of a big time run. So and coach has been very up front and honest with it. They got to make some threes that way. But Watson's a load. Like, you sit there and watch that kid play, and it's just like, I mean, he's still young too and relatively inexperienced. But, and like I said, with Webster getting downhill, and I think Ed Morrow, I mean, that dude just eats the rim. Like, it's unbelievable, and he's so powerful. Like, we told our guys in Scout, Ed Morrow's like our Carlton Hurst except 6'7". I mean, he's just so strong and athletic. And then Jacobson just doesn't, the guy just doesn't make any mistakes. You know what I'm saying? He's just so sound in everything they do. And I think it's just a matter of getting some of those freshmen going and getting the minutes. And it's hard to, look at their schedule. It's hard just to throw true freshmen out there. We're doing it, and we've been able to kind of get by, but we've probably lost a game or maybe two, not just because of that, but and you look at those guys, it's just hard to get those guys meaningful minutes when you're playing UCLA and Virginia Tech, who beats Michigan, and probably an NCAA tournament team, and Clemson. You got to get them in when you can, but it's noticeable too when ours are in, and I think when his are in. We made some runs there when some of his young guys were in, so
Got to level off and drop off. You can't just drop off and hope that you're up 7 and hang on, right? These guys got to at least level things off. And young kids just don't always know how to play hard enough. Coaches are very critical about, in terms of when I say critical, you have a discerning eye about positioning, about, what you allow them to do defensively. They're just not used to that. And it becomes a little bit of an overload. But I think as you see development in guys, like a kid like Webster, like Glenn, you understand that that's what you have to do to get those guys to become the players they can.
Yeah, did you sense your guys looking ahead at all the next week?
No. I think they knew. You look at the way we came out. I mean, until he changed the game schematically, that's when mentalities changed. We got a little selfish with some shots. We rushed some stuff up there. I asked Ed Murrow, what'd you think? He had 10 and 6. Michael had 11, 10 and 5, and they're hanging their heads like they just, lost their puppy dog, and they just felt like they forced shots and didn't do their job, didn't rebound enough, because we were even on the boards with South Dakota, and they're like, we have to do a better job, and I thought that that's a good mentality for them to be in, but there's no doubt that they know. That they had to bring their best tonight to win. And we take a lot of pride in winning in Pinnacle Bank Arena. We didn't win enough last year, and we're trying to make up for that this year.
And that being said, you have 2 top 10 teams in the next 7 days. Can you maybe is your team ready for the challenge?
Robin, we gave him a great look. I mean, our speed replicates Creighton and Kansas. I mean, tremendous pace we played with.
Is your timer? Did it go off?
I thought we were going to talk about something funny like Miles' golf game.
Okay, we'll get to that. Hang on. All right. So this is the way coaches' meetings go, too. I just never talk. I just walk out of there and do what I want anyway. So it's a huge week for us. It's a week that, Creighton's better than I thought they were going to be. Now, my job as our program is to see if they can sustain it, really to challenge them, just the way this guy challenged us tonight. And then, of course, Kansas is, I've wanted to play a Big 12 team to kind of rekindle those things. So we had events like this, and I think playing KU and having them back here next year will be great events.
Me too, do this again. Not the comedy routine, but playing each other.
We would be in. We're all in. So
I'll wait till this Mooney kid gets out of there. He had 18 and 5, man. He's pretty good. But I just appreciate Craig. The great. He made us better tonight. We made them better, but I think we got a lot more out of the game maybe than they did. Except we got a little cash, not as much as you wanted.
We got a little cash. Yeah. You took care of us.
Yeah. A little cash.
It truly
more than
is,
Joe could tell at Mary.
Our guys come in, and this is our first high major game. We played Houston on a neutral court. We're down in Florida. Went to Spain this summer, so we had some tremendous experiences for our young guys to be able to come in. But they walk into the gym and kind of looking around, and I don't know what the attendance was, but it seats 16,000 people, and just the whole aura of the Big Ten and all the people and the way people at Nebraska treat people. It's so classy with everything they do, and somebody meeting you when you get off the bus. Heck, we even got to drive the bus inside the building. Like, that's the big time field for us. So, but it's just a little bit of everything that's kind of like, whoa, you get a little starstruck, and then they see Miles walk out on the floor, and it's like, that's Coach Miles.
Yeah.
So,
A couple guys wanted autographs, but I wouldn't do it. Just selfies. All right, thank you.
oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
yeah,
we were
we're
gonna
not
keep
looking at
going.
them all.
Let's go.
What, do you have anything else?
No, we don't.
We
We
appreciate
got
it.
all kinds of stories, but
Yep.
thank you guys.